low-key annoying. But I just think her and Kenyon don't vibe, and that's okay. Everybody has their person in the group. Drew, find your person. Your person is probably Portia. And Portia's fabulous. She don't miss with the looks, with the personality, with the hair, with the scenes, with the storyline. Like, that's why Kenyon don't like Portia. Portia don't miss. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, being Simone Mon. I am Simone Mon, and if you have never been here before, then welcome. I do a little bit of everything on my channel. This is my personal diary. Sometimes it's television show reviews, sometimes it's shopping hauls, and it's just whatever I'm feeling at the moment. So if you're into things like that, then please hit the subscribe button, and then also hit the notification bell so you know anytime I upload a video. Y'all know the YouTube spiel. Anyway, today we're going to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13 episode, I believe this is 12. I forgot what it's called, but it's something about the front page news because someone has leaked Bolo Gate to the blogs. So let's get into the video, or the review, yeah. Anyway, the episode starts with Cynthia. She says that it's 4 days into her wedding and shit basically is falling apart. Her mama's dress doesn't fit. They lost a couple bridesmaids. They lost a groomsman. His ring don't fit. Noelle's dress doesn't fit. This is why I'm so intimidated by wedding planning, because everything is so conditional on other people doing what they're supposed to do, or everything being right. And that's just not how life works. Life is just not right most of the time. Then we go to Kenyon. She's on a FaceTime with her dad, and her dad says he doesn't want to be around a big group of people because she's throwing Brooklyn a birthday party. Which, look, pandemic parties are a thing in Atlanta, okay? Atlanta ain't shut down yet. And I feel him. So she said she's gonna have a separate party for like her friends and other people, and then a family party. She congratulates her dad on being married 39 years, and then she's like, you got 39 to my 3. And he's like, oh, has it been 3? He spilled tea. He was like, y'all been married 3 years and separated for half that time. No truer words. No truer words. You know, she said she regrets not inviting her dad to her wedding and probably not introducing Marc to her dad before she married him, because her dad seems to have a discerning spirit, especially when it comes to men, because he is a man. And her daddy probably would have told her about the red flags. But you know, the way that whole shotgun wedding concept, people do that when they don't want to get the feedback from other people. They really don't want to hear what you got to say. So let me go ahead and do this little marriage that nobody knows about and be on my own, so nobody can tell me, girl, what are you doing? And that's landed her in separation for half of her marriage. She tells her dad about the alimony. This is the thing about Kenyon. Kenyon tries to save face a lot, not just for her image, but the image of her, even her dysfunction, because she's like, he was retaliating, and that's why he served her with alimony, because he was embarrassed that he was served with a custody agreement. How are you embarrassed being served at your home? Who else is here? And whoever else is at the house, if you know them well enough to be at your house, then they know what you're dealing with and what's going on. So what was he embarrassed about? I'm confused. She said, so he retaliated and filed for alimony. And her dad was absolutely right. No, if he put that in writing, knowing that that would probably leak to the press, especially dealing with Kenyon, then, you know, he meant that. He wanted that money. He didn't do that just because he was upset. He withdrew it 12 hours later. Girl, she makes a lot of excuses for this man. More excuses than she even makes for herself, child. You know, she a master at that. Master at that. Her dad is, you know, insisting that he doesn't know the man. I think that he's laying that on thick. You know, I don't know him, so I can't say, you know, where his head is at or what he's thinking. Nobody knows him. Kenyon don't know him. She asked her dad what's his secret to being in a long marriage like he has been for 39 years. And he says we genuinely like each other. And he even told her that. It seemed like he have a lot of animosity towards you. Like, he's mad at you. What happened? They genuinely like each other. So it's easier to go through tough times and to not always be on the best terms with somebody that you really like You know, if that's your friend, y'all get over it. Especially when you're married. Y'all will be able to put things aside and move forward with one another. And they can't do that. Honestly, you guys, and this is just me being a long-term watcher of Real Housewives of Atlanta, I think all of this is a scheme that Todd came up to come up with. Y'all know what Alberta said. They coming at us with the bullshit. I think Kenya knew all along that the marriage wouldn't last. All of this from inception has been a part of her storyline. Now, if it would have worked out and she would have had a fairy tale, great. Her and, him could have been the new Candy and Todd, and he could have franchised his restaurant in Atlanta. But I think that she knew that there was a possibility that it would blow up, but that would also make her more interesting and she would have a storyline. Beside her even, having a baby at 40 plus years old. All those things are like interesting. Those are things that you pitch to producers about what I'm going to talk about this season. Now she can talk about divorce this season. You know what I'm saying? Now she can talk about alimony this season. Post-divorce, like, this is the storyline that keeps giving once she introduced Marc onto the scene. And I think that's what it is. Honestly, because that's how calculated Kenya is. Kenya has always been like that. Candy, I've heard Candy say a number of times, Kenya wants to make this show a good show. She's putting on a show. Drew and Kenya go to sit down and come to some kind of, common ground about their differences and where they've disagreed. Drew says, "Oh, you look gorgeous," when Kenya shows up with her python boots, and Kenya does not return the compliment. Okay, Drew asks her about the whole situation where she told her about the jet and all that, and then texted her and was like, "Don't tell the girls." I rarely agree with Kenya, but I was with Kenya on this one. Like, why are we revisiting the same shit over and over? Why? When she was, going hard on her about missing her daughter, why you brought Brooklyn, like, I think their disconnect is beyond that trivial South Carolina trip stuff. I think their disconnect is more of a misunderstanding. So how do we move forward? How do you like to be communicated with? How should I communicate with you so that we don't have these misunderstandings? Is there sometimes, you don't want to share all the information with the group. Tell me more about the group dynamic. Why do you feel like you should hold certain information back from the women? So that I know moving forward, if I extend invitations, how I should maneuver these situations. Like, that's what I wanted her and Kenya to talk about. Now about South Carolina. Like, Drew, this is old and this is dead. They get to disagreeing, honey, and then they both like, look, this is dead in the water. This is the exact same way the iconic Bye Ashley, the exact same way that ended with her and Portia in like season 3 or 4 or whatever that was. Check, please. I don't want to talk to this hoe no more. End scene. Then when the lady comes to take the check, she's like, will it be separate or together? And Kenya's like, it'll be together. And Drew is like, no, you can separate them. Drew hasn't been on television long as you, Kenya. She doesn't have the 6-figure salary on a regular basis like you do. She is still doing broke bitch shit. It is. That's very regular. Nene Leakes would never split a check. Phaedra Parks would never. Candy would never split a check. But these are girls who've been on the scene for years. They know how this works. Drew is still learning. So Drew is still giving very much Cheddar's Casual Cafe. You pay for your spinach and artichoke dip and your margarita with your entree, and I'll pay for mine. But it was hilarious. Kenya ain't lying. Look, Kenya ain't lying. That's broke bitch shit. But hey, most of the time I'm a broke bitch. I ain't gonna lie. Split. Every now and then, if I really like the person I'm going to eat with, my mama, my best friend, I might cover it. Might. But most of the time, I'm a broke bitch. And I'm just keep it 100. I think Kenya left and Kenya's like, I just can't talk. Like, I don't like this girl child. Drew is singing. Drew can be annoying. I like Drew, don't get me wrong. But some of her things, her quirky, and I guess that's her quirkiness. She's young. And these women are so much older and mature and fabulous and Gucci and Chanel. And Drew is just like not there yet, you know. So she is low-key annoying, but I just think her and Kenyon don't vibe, and that's okay. Everybody has their person in the group. Drew, find your person. Your person is probably Portia, and Portia's fabulous. She don't miss with the looks, with the personality, with the hair, with the scenes, with the storyline. Like, that's why Kenyon don't like Portia. Portia don't miss. Go be friends with her. Like, you don't gotta be friends with Kenyon. Next scene is Cynthia and Mal, and they're going to look for a dress for her mom. Mal gets the alert about Bolo being in the blogs, Bolo Gate, and she tells Cynthia, and Cynthia's like, well, something did happen, but I love how everybody is closed lips about it except for Kenya. She says that she's going to miss the event that Marlo's put together because she has some last minute things to do for her wedding. And then the producers ask her who she thinks leaked the story to the press. And Cynthia basically says, I don't know, but I know who was most pressed about it, which was Kenya. And I think we all can agree that 9 times out of 10, Kenya leaked it to the press. And even when they asked Kenya, and the producers asked her in her confessional or interview look, she says that, you know, she kind of lays out how it happened. Someone told someone and then they leaked it to the press. Someone will probably be you. Because you know exactly how that shit happened. Then we get to the pumpkin patch and the women talk about the story being in the blogs about Bolo. And I think they all kind of feel like Kenya leaked the story. Latoya gets there. She asks, I like that about Latoya. Latoya is not so intimidated in the relationship with Kenya, which is such like a force of a personality, that she doesn't ask her things straight up, hold her to the fire in front of everybody. Like, we still gonna be friends, but bitch, if I can't talk to you like an everyday person, then we can't be friends. And Toya comes out and asks her, she's like, did you leak it? No, not page 6. If it was B. Scott or TMZ. And the crazy thing is, Kenya has aligned herself with B. Scott because B. Scott is on a I Hate Nene Leaks parade. Like, y'all seen that parade? That, it's not a genuine alliance. She wasn't rolling with B. Scott till she figured out that Nene and B. Scott had a falling out. Anyway, Toya says in her confessional that she believes that Kenya leaked the story, and I do too, because she hates Portia just that much. Toya also tells the women that Tanya has gone to Canada. Tanya ain't won't have no parts of that. I think Tanya should have stood her ground a little bit more with the group and not like ghosted them. But at the end of the day, you can't tell people how to clean up their image. What's their best PR option? She probably did consult with a public relations person who told her, you know, your best thing to do is not say anything, and if you don't need this money, then walk away from this. And that's exactly what she did. Marlo has on this wool poncho, y'all, and these thigh-high loop. Like, I get a look, but where is Comfort? Comfort don't come over a look. Marlo looked like a goddamn fool. She looked like she was going through the change, menopause. She was sweating bullets. They FaceTime Cynthia and she says that she's going to do a post-nup because Candy asked her if she's handled her prenup. And all the women are like, nah girl, you see how this has played out for Kenya. Don't do that. Do not do that. They start playing games, and Toya, you know, she loves to go at Drew and like talk about Drew's hair. And Drew's blonde wig was cute. But Toya got all that bomb, and it has a white film on her leave out to lay her leave out flat. Like, that be the thing. Like, if you gonna come at somebody about something, yours got to be on point. And hers was not on point. So don't talk about my wig, because Drew better than me. I'd have been like, you out here smelling like a hot comb, and you got all that bomb that look like deodorant in your goddamn head. Portia got lost, so she basically missed the event. And then they talk about Drew and Kenya's dinner, which was basically a waste of time. It was even a waste of time to talk about at the Pumpkin Patch Child. At the end of the day, they don't get along. Kenya says that Drew was doing acting exercises like she was about to film a scene. And I forgot to say that in the beginning of the episode. So Drew is singing at Kenya's wedding, which is Cynthia's wedding. Which is weird, right? Drew don't give me, like, if I had friends like that, I wouldn't have picked Drew. That's what I was getting from Mike Hill too. Mike Hill, she was like, do you like Angel of Mine? And Mike Hill was like, yeah, when Monica sings it. Like, shade. But she says that, you know, she's just getting her vocals together for her big day where she's singing at Cynthia's wedding, and I just thought that was hilarious. They would not let it go. Of course, Yin and Yang, Latoya, and Kenyon are teasing her about it. And then the women stick around. Marlo, Shamia, and Drew stick around to wait for Portia. So Portia have a scene to shoot. And basically Portia gets there and they talk about the fact that the story is leaked to the blogs and that Kenya probably did it. Portia says it reeks of a Kenya leak. And then I think Marlo is accepting some kind of guilt for reconciling with Kenya because it's very random. And then she feels like the other girls that don't like Kenya won't want to mess with her anymore because she's friends with Kenya. Accurate. I mean, Shamia and Portia were like, no, that would never be the case. So at the end of the day, a friend of my enemy is no friend of mine. Sorry, sis. And then we get to Kenya's therapy session, and it's the same old song with Kenya. I'm sorry. We've known about Kenya's background, her trauma, her issues from her childhood with her mother, and I see how that is playing out in the relationships that she's having, specifically with Marc. Like she said, she accepts a lot of disrespect. She accepts a lot of bullshit. She picks people who are emotionally unavailable, who aren't great communicators. And at the end of the day, Kenya is turning 50 years old. She keeps alluding to this milestone birthday. She's turning 50. You signing up for this. If you haven't sat on enough therapy couches because you have the means, you have the resources to get the help that you need, if you're signing up for this and choosing this, at some point, sis, it's on you. You can't even be, mad or blaming your mom anymore. Heal that shit up so you can live this fabulous life and be a better person at the end of the day. Because her dealing with her trauma is one thing, but that your trauma has significantly impacted your personality and your character, and that's what you need to be concerned about. Relationships fail all the time. If she had no childhood trauma, her relationship could still fail. What Kenya needs to be concerned about is her character, how she treats other people. That's what she needs to be worried about as it pertains to Brooklyn, so she don't pass on those nasty traits to Brooklyn, or so she doesn't end up treating Brooklyn nasty when she and Brooklyn disagree. Because as you know, mother-daughter relationships, especially black ones, can be very tough, especially when the girls are, teenagers. That's a tough relationship to maneuver, especially if your mama is toxic. And at the end of the day, Kenya is toxic, okay? She needs to heal that up for the sake of Brooklyn. Anyway, you guys, that's all I got for Real Housewives of Atlanta. I have missed a couple of episodes. Y'all know I live in Texas, so one week I didn't have power because of the ice storm, so I couldn't do my review. And then the next week, I went to Vegas to recover from the trauma of the ice storm, so I missed it. But I'm back. I'm really going to charge myself to finishing out this season of reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta, so I will definitely be back next week. Hold me to it, you guys. Thanks for watching my video. Please be sure to give me a big thumbs up, to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.